Enjoy the show, the Van Wezel way. Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall.
Oh yeah.
Hello and welcome back to a very special edition of Curtain Call Conversations. My name is Justin Gomlak and I am the Director of Education and Community Engagement at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. And we have a really fun guest and we're in a really fun place, and I'm going to talk about her first before you meet her on mic. Gretchen Beaumier wears many hats at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall, literally. She knows our backstage well, and she is often wearing a hard hat as she works with IATSE Local 412. That's International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. Local 412. That's our backstage union. And she is with them. She's an electrician, a dresser, a board operator, and general technician. She's also on the faculty of our technical theater summer camp, where she helps teens learn all about the backstage crafts. That has actually just been announced. So if you have a teen that might be interested in backstage, make sure you reach out to us in the education department because we have a camp for you. But I digress. But she's also one of the education department's fabulous teaching artists, and she currently is leading a Funny Girls residency. And a Funny Girls helps young girls learn leadership competencies through improv. We'll be chatting about that in a second. But in addition to that, Gretchen acts as co-artistic director, technical director, and resident lighting designer for Dingbat Theater Project. She recently co-directed productions of Hercules and I'm Going to Marry You, Toby Maguire at Dingbat Theater Project, where she has also done scenic and lighting design for several of their productions. And that is actually where we are today. This is a unique locale for us with this podcast because we are in the amazing, magical, fabulous Dingbat Theater Project. As we speak. So welcome, Gretchen.
Thank you so much, Justin. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay! Hey, will you tell us a little bit about Dingbat Theater Project for those listeners who might not know about it?
Sure, yeah. So Dingbat Theater Project is a nonprofit, a 501c3 organization here in Sarasota. It's been around for about 5 years. I've been a part of it for about 4. And we just opened this space about 13, 14 months ago. We have our own brick and mortar space here near Gulf Gate in Sarasota. We're a small local theater company that's dedicated to inclusivity and accessibility in storytelling and watching theater and being able to access seeing plays.
I can't believe it. You've only been in this space for 13 months.
Yes, yeah. I
feel like you've done so many productions here already.
We did 9 productions last year alone. We are about to open 3 more. We're currently running like a nighttime experience alongside those 3 productions, so we are busy here at Dingbat Theater Project.
And I have to say, my first experience with Dingbat Theater Project and watching what you've done was seeing your production of Pippin last year, which just blew my mind how incredibly creative and immersive and fun what excellent quality it was as well. I was so impressed. If you haven't seen anything at Dingbat Theater Project, definitely check it out because it is what you're doing is really cutting edge. It's like it's how things should be.
Thank you, Justin.
So how did you find yourself in this position? Like, tell us a little bit about the journey that took you to here.
Well, I was actually born and raised in Florida. I'm from Sarasota. I went to high school here.
Where'd you go?
I went to Pineview.
So she's a smarty.
You know. And then after Pineview, I went to college. I always knew I wanted to be in theater, so I studied a lot of different things in college in terms of technical theater. And then when I came back, I had been working at Venice Theater down in Venice, Florida, every single summer in their education department. And I met Luke there, Luke McFatridge, who founded Dingbat Theater Project. And they asked me to be involved in some productions post-college. I jumped in as a fill-in stage manager, and then later jumped in as a fill-in lighting designer and a fill-in scenic designer, and everything, the ball just kept rolling from there, and I took on more jobs.
Yeah, just get rid of the fill-in part, and now that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I became technical director, and then later on I took on the title of co-artistic director, so just been growing with the organization as we've been here.
It's amazing. So we are here actually on an afternoon, like it's quiet right now, but it's not going to be quiet in just a little bit, right?
Like 30 minutes.
In about 30 minutes, because we have a class that you're teaching for as a teaching artist for the education department, and it's for Funny Girls. And could you talk to us a little bit about Funny Girls, and then specifically, like Funny Girls here at Dingbat?
Yeah. So Funny Girls is an existing curriculum that is often taught at different schools in the area. But here at Dingbat, we are doing our own course with girls that sign up from anywhere in the county. And so we are teaching leadership skills through improv. It's for girls in grades 3 through 5, and they, over the course of 10, 11 weeks, we each learn skills, and we play improv games that help build those skills. So that they feel more confident as public speakers. They learn empathy and collaboration. It's really cool.
And at the end, is there a performance of a sort?
Like a little showcase for their parents and friends and family to come show them the progress that they've made.
Oh, how fun! Because it'll happen here at Dingbat. So this is actually one of the places where their final performance will actually be in a theater space.
Yes, on a stage with lights if we so choose.
Ooh.
I think that they'll be really excited to see that. They were very excited to see the painted floor last week, so now that everything's fully in, I'm sure they will come in with excitement.
For our folks at home, the floor right now is painted to be like it's like grassy and there's like a beautiful round path like through the grass, which is here for. Can you talk to us a little bit about like what that is here for?
Sure. Yeah, so this floor specifically was painted by Sarah DeSmith, a very talented scenic artist. It's for our collection of shows that are about to run called The Backyard. It's essentially running multiple shows on the same set in rotating repertory. So we're going to be doing Oklahoma, a country cabaret called Wildflowers, that's an original piece, and then Seussical, which is a family-friendly musical, all on the same set. Alongside Fridays and Saturdays, we're doing something called Backyard Bash, which is essentially a cabaret series where we have performers come in late night, 10:30 p.m. till 12:30 a.m., using this space all day long.
Something tells me that's a party.
That is a party for sure. That one's for the adults in the room, but it's a great time.
No kids invited to that. Hey, do you know, is there something fun or funny that has happened with this Funny Girls here recently?
Yeah, I mean, every single week they surprise me with the things that they come up with on stage. They have a lot of fun yes-anding each other and jumping off of each other's crazy ideas, and that's what it's all about. So one of our favorite games to play is essentially where they're telling this elaborate tall tale about why they came home late, or and lying to their parents essentially about what's going on, and they all share the same storyline. So they'll say, oh, well, we fell off our bikes. And then the next one will jump in and be like, well, we fell off our bikes because we saw something crazy over there. And last week they just went on for so long and they got so excited into it. It was really, really fun.
There's that phrase, kids say the darndest things.
Yes.
And here, literally, that is your job, to get those kids to say the darndest things.
It's all about thinking outside the box, for sure.
I love it. So let's shift gears a little bit from funny. We're packing a lot in here because you wear so many hats, and I want to cover all of the things. You have a huge variety of backstage skills, and so like what kinds of skills get practiced during this technical theater summer camp that you really help run at the Van Ways?
Yeah, it's quite an extensive summer camp. The students really get to have their hands on basically every single field in the backstage arena. So they do lighting, they work on sound, they get to do costumes and makeup and work on wigs. Last year they even got to deal with prosthetics, so that was really cool. They loved working with the fly system, and
I remember seeing open gashes and
yes,
wounds.
it was a little disturbing how realistic it was. They did a really fantastic job. To the point where we had to like warn parents of like, don't worry, it's fake. We didn't hurt your kids. It was really intense how well they picked up that really quickly. They also picked up lighting designing really quickly when they came here last summer. It was during the run of Pippin, and on the same set and the same light plot as Pippin, they got to design a few light cues. So really they get the full range of experiences, at least touching a little bit of each aspect of backstage.
I will add, the first week that we have is really more of an introduction into like what things go into the various backstage crafts. We call them crafts. So what are they? Electrics, which is what we call lighting, audio video,
Yeah.
AV,
AV projections.
And we have hair and makeup that we combine also with wardrobe and costume. Carpentry, we don't really do carpentry, do we? We touch on it a little bit, but carpentry is essentially the people who build and move the sets.
Yes, yeah, we have a few games that we play where they pretend to be carpenters on stage.
That's right. I'm missing one. What am I missing?
They got to be spot ops as part of the lighting.
And what's really great is we use flies. That's right. The flies, which they get to pull the ropes and bring the things in and out of the stage space. But it's, we really try to capitalize on the use of the Van Wezel and everything that we have backstage, and it is hands-on with the actual things. We're not pretending in any way, shape, or form.
No,
and it is a lot of fun. It's kind of it's built because it is still camp, so it's we're not cracking the whip too hard, but to be able to actually shine a spotlight, which is not as easy as many people would.
They're a lot bigger than you would think.
And
they're heavy. It's a whole ordeal. You get to go all the way up into the ceiling and point it down at the stage. It's a cool experience for anyone, especially a student. I would have loved it when I was younger. Yeah.
And then our second week, which you referenced, where we actually go on a lot of field trips. So we visit many of the producing houses across town to give the kids a little bit of the sense, not so much of the running of the show, but the building of the shows.
Yes.
So they get to explore the building of costumes and building sets and painting sets and our friends and partners at the Oslo Theater and West Coast Black Theater Troupe and Florida Studio Theater, and then of course Dingbat. And what we do here, which is really wonderful, this is a beautiful black box space, and so it's a place where they can really put their skills that they've been learning to actual work in designing a lighting cue, which is not a small task. Like, it's actually, there's a lot that goes into it, and they're actually using the board, and right?
It's really cool for them to see what it's like at these facilities with all this money and all this space and all of these facilities, and then paring that down, coming into a small space like Dingbat and making it accessible, and showing them materials that they could, in theory, save up and buy and run their own lights with. And it's all about making it so that they understand that this is within their reach. This is something they can truly do.
I also think that, like, because this space is smaller and has less of the quote-unquote bells and whistles, it makes you be more creative. It forces you to problem solve the storytelling in more creative ways.
Absolutely.
Which is a very good transition, because every time we do this, Gretchen, just so you know, we have like our fun segment.
Yes.
And today's fun segment is about dingbatifying, which that's a technical term for those of you who don't know.
Justin invented it.
Yeah, just now, right now. But essentially, you have your company has a really specific point of view, and infused in that, yes, you have to problem solve being in a smaller space. But the way that you problem solve is so delightful. And so what I would love for you to do, if you would, is kind of walk us through some of the ways that you Dingbatify these shows that you're doing in this upcoming season, in this upcoming backyard. It's the backyard.
Yeah,
right?
it's the backyard. Yeah,
Backyard. So we're doing shows in our backyard.
Essentially, yeah. So the whole set is built to look like a backyard indoors, have the full capability of a lighting rig with that. And so, like I said, we're doing a production of Oklahoma on this set. Oklahoma being a classic Rodgers and Hammerstein musical that is famous. Everyone knows it. But we are making it a little bit different. Everything that Dingbat does, we strive for inclusivity, we strive for making choices that include gender diverse casting, and we really let the artists and the diverse voices that we have involved inform the way that we produce the work. And so having so many different people come in and be involved in non-traditional casting, that really tells you how to proceed. So for example, with Oklahoma, we have over half the cast is trans. We have a lot of people informing the way that we're telling the story differently. The connotations of the way that these characters talk to each other change when you change who is playing the part.
And so you really do let the fabric speak to you, like so the fabric of the actors, like depending on who's playing the part, that will really inform how you're interpreting the story arc of that character.
Absolutely, yeah.
And in a show like Oklahoma, where there's such well-known characters, just the fact that you've cast somebody non-traditional in that part automatically makes you lean forward and be like, oh, how does that difference affect this narrative?
It certainly paints Curly in a different light. It makes you feel a lot different about the ending.
So you're saying Curly has straight hair?
Almost. But he definitely, you see a different side of him than I've seen in other productions of Oklahoma. So I'm really excited to present this version to our audiences.
Amazing. So we've got very traditional, turned on its ear because of the casting of Oklahoma.
Yes. We have Wildflowers, which is our country cabaret. So it's music from Dolly Parton, Reba, all those famous country queens, and essentially pushed together into this one central cabaret, moving a story through it, where we are at, Luke is actually playing one of the characters in it. Luke is in their backyard, and they hear people singing and dancing 2 doors down. And that's the premise of the way the show starts. And those people from 2 doors down come in, and they're singing and they're having a party. And so that party enters this space, and it's all about the joy that is brought into spaces like these. Often in these shows specifically, we are highlighting found family, which is a really important part of community. It's often a huge part of LGBTQIA culture. And so with Oklahoma, we're highlighting that. With Wildflowers, we're highlighting that. Seussical specifically is about all those Dr. Seuss stories that everyone knows and loves very well. And we are setting it as if there is a family coming into their backyard and playing pretend.
Okay, so the family is playing, there's a family in the backyard?
So Dingbat likes to take the setting and make it a little non-traditional. So with setting Seussical in the backyard, it's essentially that all of the characters in Dr. Seuss's stories are played by the family. And so everyone that's in the story as an actor is telling it secondarily as a part of this family that's come together. So it's a storyteller narrative more so than if we had a full Seussified set.
Now, do you have this, is it the same actors that are in all 3 pieces?
There's a lot of overlap. We're trying to maintain a repertory company, so there's quite a few people that are in Oklahoma as well as Wildflowers. There's overlap between Seussical and Wildflowers. It's just a matter of each performer and their availability. Sarah Conte specifically is playing Lori in Oklahoma and is also in Wildflowers. Casey Ferrasi is in Wildflowers and is also in Seussical. So we have a lot of overlap. Luke is in Wildflowers and is directing Oklahoma. So we're all doing many things here. We're all wearing many hats.
All the hats. The hats. I had another question about now it's just as fast. It's like evaporated out of my mind. Wow. That's what happens. That's what happens. So if you had to say something to our audience of people who have never come to a Dingbat experience, what would you say to entice them to come?
I would say that it's a really friendly, warm, and inviting space. We are a community here first and foremost. We are really looking to be a space for local artists to come and create and make their own. So I'm really excited to have this space with Dingbat and encourage anyone to come and check it out. Email us, come be a part of it. We are just looking to grow our community, keep everyone involved. I think anyone who hasn't been here, come try it out. We don't bite. The cover is really low to any of our shows. We strive to keep it accessible in ticket pricing. And there's something here for everyone.
It really is. You create such a good time. I gotta say, I remember what it was. It's so interesting that you've chosen to take a country music because as this sort of unifying force.
Yes.
Because oftentimes the country music isn't always the most inclusive,
Right.
And oftentimes lives in very sort of gendered tropes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting that you're choosing country music to kind of play with that a little bit and make it more malleable.
Yeah, get up and line dance with us. It's a party here at Dingbat.
I love it. Well, Gretchen, thank you so much for taking the time and for hosting us here in this amazing little jewel of a theater that we're sitting in. Friends at home, please follow us on all of our socials. You can like, subscribe, and comment at Van Wezel PAH. We would love to hear from you. I want you to also make sure that you go to vanwezel.org and check out the Backstage Technical Theater Summer Camp. All of the information is found there. Also, I bet you can find things at Dingbat Theater Project.
Dingbattheater.org. All of our social medias are Dingbat Theater.
And are you Theater RE or Theater ER?
Theater RE, all the way.
Of course. The proper way, right? So Dingbat Theater RE .org.
Yes.
You can please check out the various things. Please come and patronize this wonderful, wonderful company that does such imaginative work. And we'll see you next time on Curtain Call Conversations.